इतने हेडफोन पड़े इतने हेडफोन अपना तो तारा मारा कनेक्ट नहीं था फोन बड़े चार्ज को नहीं आपको
All right, let's begin. So good evening, everyone. So today's topic is some shortcuts to find, stock ideas, out of this 4,000, 5,000 stock. One of the way could be you do an technical analysis. Another way could be you just cannot look at the balance sheets, annual reports of all the listed companies and what transformation is going around what. So there has to be some kind of a Skinner that you need to apply. So today we will be using extensively screener. I would be giving you some shortcut ideas of how to use the screener, and probably I'll give you few of the screener this thing screening ideas on screeners. So I'll just share the screen 1 second. The first thing before we go to the screener, just 1 second. So we have already understood in our previous session, we have covered basics of balance sheets, basic of income statements, cash flow statement, and everything. There are a few of the very important things. Just those who have not attended, or maybe just a brush up for one. What exactly are we looking out is for those companies whose tomorrow's or futures ROCE, return of capital employed, goes up. Once the return on capital employed goes up, then the shareholder actually makes money, or the prices gets increased. Someone just messaged no sound. Can anyone unmute himself and tell me if am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so once the future ROCE, return on capital employed, goes up, that is what an investor should look for, rather than going into too much of income statement and balance sheet. The idea is being developed, and if you are able to identify, okay, tomorrow what Google can become at early stages, or what Apple could have become on early stages, then this is one way. Another way is, you have to be a future looking. You're driving a car, you have to look in future. While stock investing, you have to look in future. The idea is your future ROCE should go up. Okay, so ROCE is EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes, divided by capital employed, where your capital employed is nothing but owner's money, that is equity, and the debt was the company has taken. So I think we have detailed discussed on this. Otherwise, those who have not can just Google and understand detailed ROCE. So one is your denominator should go up. For denominator EBIT to go up, what do you have to want is the sales to go up. Correct. The sales will go up, or the margin should go up, or there's a reduction in cost. Only then your earnings will go up. Correct. Your PAT will go up, or PBT will go up, or EBIT will go up. Okay. So one is increase in sales. Typically, sales increment happens. If you have introduced any new product recently, or you're introducing any new product which has a high market demand, is one of the way. Or a company is expanding into a new geography, that is one of the way. Or company is doing some backward integration, because of which cost of production will go down, margins will improve, and that is how your EBITDA will go up. The classic examples of this are Varun Beverages, Kirloskar Brothers. So Varun Beverages, Bector's Food. These are the companies who have introduced largely products, expanded to new geographies, and that is how your lot of money has been made for investors investing into these companies. Then margins. So to increase the margins, if you're introducing a product which has a premiumization, which is a premium kind of a product, then your margins will expand. That is how you're doing the same sales. To just understand a simple example, you are going into an say MACD. Okay, if MACD always used to sell a burger of say 50 rupees, for example, okay, and the people there are entering for the same store sales growth is what is looked over there. Suppose there are 100 people approximately that enter every day in that MACD, and everybody buys that 50 rupees burger. Okay, so this will be, roughly you can calculate number of people into the burger sold 50. This is how you get 500 into 50. Tomorrow, if they introduce a premiumized product, so instead of 50 rupees one, which is already there, they introduce a new product which has a higher margin for them, which is a premium product. So just putting small paneer pieces on that or something else in that, which probably sells instead of 50, now sells at say 80, 90, 100 or whatever. So the margin of the company will go up over here, and that is called as premiumization. Once the premiumization happens, the company's margins improve significantly. And that is how your margins improve. That is how your EBITDA will improve. Similarly, debt reduction, as we have already discussed number of times, any company doing a large debt reduction, what will happen is your denominator will reduce, your capital employed, this debt will get reduced, and that is how your ROC will further improve. This is how typically, your ROC in future may increase. Okay, and then there are expansions. So any company which is expanding, doing a capex or doing a takeover of a beautiful company or a company which has a good futuristic cash flow, these are the typical ideas how your ROC in future will improve. So finding this becomes a task. Today we are here to understand how easily we can understand which company is doing a new product, which company is going into a new geography, which companies are doing a backward integration, premiumization, is their competition decreasing, increasing, what is the debt, where is the debt reduction happening, where is the capex happening. So all this, this all names what you are looking over here. So Bector Foods, Manorama, Deepak Nitrite, R Power, Suzlon, R Power, a typical example of your debt reductions. Okay, Manorama is a beautiful example of what kind of a new expansion they are doing. They are doing a greenfield project which is already now capitalizing. Bector Foods, they have number of times they have done premiumization of their products. Okay, so you will find some shortcut ways to go and find this all. Typically what we discussed in a very bookish way, we can say the premiumization of margin, what we understand is called as margin expansion. Debt reduction, what we discussed, is called as deleveraging. Product mix change, any new product being introduced is called as a product mix change. Whatever expansion, it is called as a capex. Operating leverage and financial leverage we have already discussed in first two sessions. But then typically there is a capital utilization expanding. So fixed cost remains the same. Your EBITDA will expand. That is your operating leverage. Financial leverage, again, a company going into a debt restructuring, financial leverage. Demerger of the company is happening, again, a classic example where out of the two, whichever has an higher future ROC will be a thing that will drive the prices. So cyclical tailwinds is also what we will cover today. So all right, so let's, this was just a brief of what to look in the stocks and how the future ROC increases. Now let's come to the shortcut, what we are all here for. So there are 4 screeners. I have a number of screens, but then today I'll share like a few of them with you. So just give me a sec. Google share. Okay, let's go to screener. All right. So is the screen visible? The screen is visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Sure, thanks. Okay, so on this screener, you have the screens. Okay, so this is what I have created for myself. You have some automatic popular themes which are also available for you. So you can find from popular themes also companies which are doing capacity expansion, debt reduction, FII buying, growth without dilution. There are some, these are popular themes. Again, You have this magic formula, Caficon. So those who are too much interested, you can just go over here on quarterly results and other screens. Today, I will be sharing my own few of the screens with you. So largely, all these names will normally gets covered into four things. So one is this growth with momentum. Second is a reduction in public holding. Third is promoter buying with large impact. I'll cover in detail. We will cover that, and large expansions plus promoter. So typically, I mean, I normally get very much interested when promoter it's buying its own business. When they are buying in their own business, putting in their money in their own company, I get a lot of interest, and I normally go and want to understand what is happening and why this promoters are buying for themselves. And if I mean, typically, whenever the company is going for an expansion, okay, or doing a CWIP, capital work in progress, one should be excited to understand what new businesses or what new capex they are doing, what should be the margins going forward, and how big that business can become. But then that is also one of the way that company might cheat and take away the money. So CWIP is also one of the way in which financial shenanigans come into play. But then in this case, if I tell you that promoter is also buying his own stocks and they are doing a CWIP, then the probability of they doing a mischief becomes significantly lower. So we'll cover few of them today. So first is growth with momentum. So so just understand this query. Okay, the profit after tax last quarter has grown by more than 50%. The profit after tax has grown by more than 50%. Okay, typically it is more than 50%. Last quarter is a very good growth. Okay, sales growth has been by 20%. Debt to equity ratio is 0.7. This one is for the technical one. We will not cover that. Debt to equity is under control. It's 0.7, and the price to equity or PE is greater than 30. So one probably could question here, why the price to equity greater than 30? Why I'm buying a stock? I mean, typically one should be buying a stock which is less than price of equity to 20, 15 kind of, correct? This should be one of the question should come in your mind. For any company who is growing by 50% and still the stock is not giving a P of 15, 20, 25, I think then there is some problem going on in that company. And that is why typically I will want to be a more probabilistic rather than scrutinizing and finding a company ki kya problem hai. I would be more happy to find a company where I could put my money into. So this is this screener which I have made, it is after a lot of thought. Correct. I mean, I'll just go through the example and you will understand what the company is. I mean, there are few of the names which I am holding in this, and just look at the names of these companies and how good they have been. And trust me, in future also, if you are, I mean, it is a bit this a starting way of reducing your time from analyzing stocks which are 5,000 and coming straight away to 58. Out of this, you actually have to ignore the companies of deep cyclicals. You have to ignore banking. You have to ignore in this section. So around 10-15 names more will get ignored. You will be left out with 30-40 companies, 40 odd companies, 45 odd companies, out of which you can deep dive, understand, read the con calls of the company, notes of the company, find out why are they moving ahead, what is going through, and are they available at a cheaper valuation. So I have put P 30. If the stock has become a P of 60, 70, 80, then ignore. Correct. So typically I mean CDSL I've been holding, HBL Power I've been holding, Newland I have sold. So there are a number of companies. So DOMS, I just giving a random take what is happening. The newly listed company, if you see, the reserves have gone up significantly. So I mean the company is doing good profits. Borrowings are under control. Correct. Look at this. The debtor controls have gone down significantly from 30 to have become 15. We have already covered in one of the sessions earlier. Okay. Post that also, I think stock has moved up 15-20%. Correct. So FII, DII's interest has been there in the stock. They are holding 15 odd percent, 75% of the public is holding a minuscule kind of a quantity. Okay. Last con call that they did, or the other notes, if you understand, they are expanding. They are doing some capex plans. Correct. They have added a new capacity of wooden pencil division. Commercialization would happen in Q4. So this will always add on to their ROCE. Correct. So I mean, this is just a starting point that we are covering. We will not be covering business in detail. But yeah, I mean, only on this one screener, we have come down straight away to 50 odd companies. In that also, we are ignoring companies that would be into deep cyclicals or that are into, a financial kind of an area. But then you're left with 30, 35 odd companies. Just go through them, understand. I mean, and then after this, honestly speaking, I do an techno funda. So after this, I will typically go and understand where the risk reward is lower, which are the stage 2 stocks, where there is a lot of institutional buying which has happened, looking at the OBV and volumes and other parameters. So I mean, the very good starting point that you have today is only 30, 35 odd companies in your hand. Research them, put some time over there. I mean, I'm telling you, out of this, you will get 10, 15 hour stock, which will give you a 35, 40, 50% annualized returns. So, I mean, I can tell you with a lot of confidence because I have invested earlier on this parameters. Lot of companies I have invested on this method. So look at this, for example, CAMS. I mean, just look at the charts, the way they have performed in last few years. I mean, they have been expanding like anything. So today, after this, go and understand, read the investor presentation, or read on the con calls and everything. So you'll understand a lot of things what companies is doing, and that is why their profit has gone up. The only thought you have to have is here, the profit that they have done now, will that be in future also available? So if the company is still able to do a 25, 30, 35% of same annualized quarterly results, then again you are sitting on something which will give you 30, 40% with ease. So stock at 55p, growth was at 50%, profit growth we have taken. So it is only available at a PEG of only 1. Correct. And that is why, I mean, it is not expensive today. It is not expensive at all. Correct. So you have to, I mean, I will share this screen card details with you. So don't worry. I'll put it on our group. So you have this one where, where the growth is happening. So these are all companies which are growth companies, and also they have the momentum in them. Okay. So I'm not saying that, okay, PEG 30 ke niche dekho hi mat. I mean, you have to do more analysis. Then आपका जो filtration का process है वो थोड़ा सा और extensive हो जाएगा. Instead of 58, you will then come across the companies which are like, around 100 odd. So this is my filtration method. If you just do it PE of greater than 20, or so you will, instead of getting the companies which are 58, you will get 68. And if you remove that altogether, you will get more companies to understand. But this is my filtration style, and I've been successful honestly in this. So this is one. Let's go to another one. So so understand this. Let's understand what is this all about. In this, I'm saying that the promoter has increased their holding, and the capital work in progress is greater than net block. So what is the net block? Net block is today's fixed asset minus depreciation. So today company has an X amount of assets which they are working on, and they are able to make some sales on that. Company have now planned where they would be doing a fresh investment, or they have done a fresh investment or working capital which is more than their current fixed assets minus depreciation, or net block basically. So in this case, there is a very high chances, or there are probability that the company may be sniping of the monies. But if promoter themselves are purchasing the stock, then it becomes a good idea of looking at the stocks. So you have, the larger companies are not there. So what we can do is slightly modify this. Just make it 0.1 and multiply this by 0.3. So currently I was not getting any company who is larger enough. So I just slightly modified the screener. Now I'm able to get companies which are Sadani, say Deepak Nitrate, Vocard, Balu Forge. So these are the companies where expansion is happening in a nice way. So I just did 0.3. So 30-35% of CWIP is there, and the promoter is also buying their own stock. So the probability of sniping of the money goes off. Now just look at Vocard. Let's see the Vocard's balance sheet. So till here, if you see March 2020, or in fact till here, the debt to equity ratio was pretty bad. So your reserves were 26, your borrowings were 36. So typically your debt to equity ratio was very bad. Correct. Now the reserves have gone up and the borrowings have gone down. And typically, I mean, the trend has also been now nicer. Correct. So typically after this period, where the debt to equity has transformed, I can tell you till here, till this period, your reserves were probably lower than what the borrowings were, the stock would have not performed for sure. Once this debt to equity ratio moves, only then you will find stocks to come into flavor. So just let's take the example of Vocard here. In fact, I've seen that chart, so I would be pretty confident to show you that once the stock actually came into stage 2. Just one sec. Yeah. Here is stock when it came into stage 2, and this is the area where I actually was very much interested in this stock from here. This particularly around 500 odd, and now the stock is around 9,000 odd. Correct. So what structural changes have happened? The company has announced a CWIP. Correct. The balance sheet has now become nice. So this is the reason we straight away came to Vocard Pharma instead of looking at any other companies. There are only 7-8 companies that you saw. What has happened? The promoter has now bought it. And understand what had happened earlier. Since September 21, the promoter has been selling 68, 67, 65, 64, 60, 59, 58, 55, 54. Would I be interested in this company? This would not come into my trigger only because promoter is selling. Correct. Now it has come into my trigger as promoter started again buying his own business. So let's just look at the charts earlier of Vocard Pharma since 2021. The promoter has been selling. I mean, just look at what has happened to the chart. This is just a monthly chart to just zoom in. Kind of the stock has been after 21. It has been continuously selling till the promoter was selling. Now the promoter has started buying. They are doing expansion. Okay, the thing seems to be better. The risk reward has now become better. Correct. So now this will be into my radar. I will go and do a deep dive into Vocard and understand the business in detail. One of the another ways of understanding this. Look at Deepak Nitrite again. Investor. What has happened? Promoter has bought the stock. Correct. In fact, FII and DI is also latching on. They are not reducing it at all. Correct. And then another one of the very, very beautiful way of understanding shortcuts of finding a businesses is where promoter is buying and your FII, DI are not selling it. See, at times it may happen that FII are buying and also promoter are buying and FII, DI are reducing, or probably their interest has gone down. Typically, one of the very good way again to analyze is where the promoter are buying their own business and FII, DI are also not selling it. Again, let me tell you, promoter is the one who knows his business the closest. Correct. So if you are able to identify a promoter is buying an FII, DI are not selling it, again, you are sitting on a very, very good probabilistic stock. You have to deep dive and understand more into details. So this is, one, and you again, just go on the notes and understand what kind of projections they are giving. So committed to an 14,000 crore investment plan with various projects in a final stage of implementation. Now understand how smart could the management be? They are on the finalization of 14,000 crores ka investment plan. Okay. And the new product development, as we discussed, we have to have a new product. Anticipated global demand would be 60,000 tons per annum. You can further, if you open the PPTs and understand what could be next 1 or 2 year ka projection, will get how big the business can become. And just sit on the business for a year or two. Correct. This is how the businesses could be identified in a shortcut manner. So this is, we have done a detailed analysis, but there's a shortcut way of identifying ki kaun si company ko padhun detail ke andar, So this is again, Vocard, we did this, we did Adani Enterprises, everyone know. So Balu Forge is again coming in. So again, into a forging company where the tailwinds are there, the huge demand of your forging companies is there nowadays. So you can go and deep dive into Balu Forge as well if you want to. So this is screener number 2. Third, okay. Again, this is again a screener which we just discussed.
Rohitji, can you please explain this one? Capital work in progress should be greater than the net block. I didn't understand the net block part.
Sure. Okay. So net block is nothing but your current fixed assets. What the company has assets today, just subtract the depreciation from it. So if I have suppose I am a doctor and for me the capex or for me the asset is the dentist chair, for example, correct?
Okay.
Minus the depreciation over 1 or 2 years or 3 years, whatever has happened, that is my net block. So suppose I bought that chair for 10 lakh rupees. Next, after 2 years, I am depreciating that asset by 1 lakh rupee per annum, for example.
Okay.
After 2 years, the net block would be 8 lakhs. So fixed asset is 10 minus 2 lakh depreciation, it becomes 8 lakhs. So that is what is net block. Okay. Now, if I am buying one more chair, for example, and that chair is of 10 lakh rupees again. So today my net block is 8. I'm buying a new chair of 10 lakhs again. So my CWIP is more than your, I mean, wrong example, by the way. But then if I'm doing any investments which will come live in future, but then that investment that I have done today, it's more than what asset I'm holding today. That is what is CWIP. Capital work in progress. I put my money yet to be, it is yet to become into my fixed assets.
Got it. Got it.
Sure. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So again, we just discussed promoter is buying interested in it, and FII and DIR are not selling it. In fact, they are either equal to 0 or they are greater than 0. Again, this kind of a businesses where promoter is interested, this will give you an idea where you should be deep diving. This is again a a nugget shortcut for you. Which businesses you should look out of 4,000, 5,000 odd companies. So again, I mean, you'll get very, very good stocks. See KP Energy, how it has performed. Look at DB Corp coming into Garware High Tech. I'm sorry, I'm holding it. So Deepak Nitrite again coming into here where FII DIs have not sold. IFCI, if you just want to open and understand a small balance sheet, look at, I mean, after such a long time, it was into a debt-ridden company. 20,000 crores ka debt chal raha tha. Now it is only, I mean, 7,000, 6,000. Here I got interested, to be very honest. But then I did not bought. I bought it somewhere here in, after mid of, in fact, January kind of, where I, understood. I mean, they are actually going through a very good period. So cash flow has just turned around to be positive after a long period of time. I mean, understand FII, DIR holding, not selling down. Promoters are buying. I mean, just to give you a sense of it, look at this period, December 22, where promoter bought. Okay, FII and DI maintain their holdings. Or if you see in March 23 also, promoter, I mean, over here also that, I mean, in nutshell, this particular period, promoter actually had bought from here to here change. From September to March, I'm comparing, promoter had bought. FII also bought. DI also has not fallen down. I mean, they have not gone down. So typically what has happened, your 25% public holding has gone down to 24% odd. 1% has gone down. So if you see in December 2022, somewhere over here, you got a sense that promoter are interested, FII, they are interested, somewhere around 11, 12. Technical triggers probably could have come around 13, 14, 15 odd. And I mean, today you are sitting at a 6, 7 bagger. So, promoter buying with large impact. So again, this was IFCI. If you see, suppose Garware High Tech. So what is happening on the balance sheet side? So company is a healthy, I mean, balance sheet is absolutely healthy balance sheet, no problems whatsoever. Okay. Cash flows are perfectly fine. Debt is under, I mean, debt is under control. Business is perfectly fine. So promoter has bought. FII, DIs are maintaining. Okay. If you actually have to go and open the notes, PPTs and of the company. Again, I mean, look at this again period, again for your historic purpose. I mean, just for a reference purpose. Promoter had bought in December 22 also. Correct. FII and DI maintain their positions. Correct. So they have not sold. In fact, all the three had bought. If you see, all the three have bought. They also, I mean, promoter, FII, DI, all the three biggies have bought. Okay, what happened to the business after December 22? So December 22. Okay. Okay, somewhere over here. Yeah, 3,400. Today you're sitting at 3,700. Technical trigger would have just come across somewhere around 33, 3,400. So I mean, good businesses can be identified from this criteria. Let's just take one or two more examples in this, and this probably will go ahead. Deepak Nitrite, यहाँ पर भी क्या हुआ? Stars 49. Okay. Again, I mean, all three biggies are purchasing. Look at this particular area. 45, 49. Correct. Public holding reduced from 31 to 28 right away. Okay. If you add this two, and if you add this two, the DIs, FIIs are holding almost a similar kind of position, and no one better can understand the business than promoter. So March 23, if you go and check March 23, 1700 odd promoters or 1800 odd promoter purchased. So the stock is at 300 odd, 3000 odd, and still looking good. Correct. So this is the screen number 1, 2, 3 we did. Reduction is public holding is all the same thing. And okay, then all right. So reduction in public holding we did. Perfect. I think these are the few of the screeners. And let me show you some very good, again, beautiful things that you can do on a screener. I'll just first share that Excel with you. And now this is something which I personally follow. So there are few, if you can open the mic for yourself. I'm just asking one small question. Have you come across any particular gentleman that buys a stock and then you feel and this is a great person. If I would have known this he has bought, then I will also have bought. So there could be definitely few of the names that every one of you must be knowing, or there could be few of the very great research analysts whom you find his research is absolutely great kind of. Correct. So have you come across any of such names in your lifespan?
Madhusudan Kela.
Ashish Kacholia.
Ashish Kacholia. Perfect. Very great.
Parag Parekh as
Mukul
well.
Agrawal.
Correct. Mukul Agarwal. Absolutely fine. So how do you actually come across? उन्होंने buy कर लिया उसके बाद हमको तो we come to know very late. Until they do 1%, probably they have already they purchase 0.9 and they sit around and then purchase 0.1, or probably in the entire lifestyle few companies they purchase only below 1%. The idea is, what are they researching? How do you come to know that? Do you come to know what Madhusudan Kela is reading today, or what Ashish Kacholia is interested into, or what future earlier Rakesh Jhunjhunwala must have been interested in earlier businesses? How do you come to know that? What businesses they are interested, or what Parag Parekh is reading today, in which companies he's interested? So there is a shortcut. So I'll just show you that. And by the way, beyond this large name, great names, these are the few of the names on the screen which is visible to you. In which research I am very much interested. So Quest Investment Advisors, Carilion Asset Management, Equirus, Logic Tree Investment, Avendus Spark, MK Venture is your Madhu Kela, Unify, Stallion Assets 2.2. These three are the PMSs. Okay. Again, great. 2.2 is of Amit Bhai. He was the one who had, who understood or, said, was the first who said there was a problem with Wakrangi and what was the 1% beverages. He was the one who identified that the promoters are siphoning off the money. So, great people. Nishya is doing extremely great. Kamakhya Wealth. Again, these are the people who are like, great researchers today. Correct. So if I'm not wrong, Quest and Carilion, out of this, one of the, I think it was Quest. Yeah, Quest was one from whom I had identified that they are interested into HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics, and that is why I deep dived into that particular business, understood that there's a debt restructuring which is happening in the company, and I also had purchased. So, your names also, I will tell you how to find. I'll show you this as well. Again, going back. So there's a unique feature in Screener. Amazing feature. Go on this search for company. Instead of company, just put inverted commas. And for example, I'm taking this Quest Investments, for example. Okay. So I have just put the name of this Quest Investment Advisor is what I have put. Okay. And now I know in which companies they are participating into the con calls, or they are participating and deep diving into businesses. Only when a particular analyst deep dives into a business, only then he will come into a con call, get his doubts clarified, kind of. Okay. So currently they are interested into Tega, Apar Industries, Hukamaki, S. Chand. So these are again, great people who are into the con call. We are just finding their names and then then we can from here on deep dive the business. So I'll just show you. They were the one, if I'm not wrong, that they were into Varroc also. So honestly speaking, I am invested into Varroc also. Okay, it was HAL ke andar shayad Hindustan Aeronautics. Look, they were the one who were Quest Investment Advisor, who were into Hindustan Aeronautics. Post they coming into Hindustan Aeronautics, I also got interested, had a deep dive into Hindustan Aeronautics and made some money. So, one of the ways of Hindustan Aeronautics pe jao. Okay, and go to the con calls down over here. Go to the transcript and just find if Quest was interested or anyone. Quest QUEST. Yeah. So this is Bharat Seth from Quest who was asking questions. So okay, once you understand interested in business or any of your favorites are interested in any particular business, simply what you have to do is just go on the screener. Okay, just type their name. For example, MK Ventures. So MK Ventures is basically your Madhu Kela's company. Okay, and typically Madhu Kela, I don't know whether he himself comes or not at times, but then his team comes. So Tushar is typically whom you will find. So today, what Madhu Kela probably is interested or his team is interested is Tushar is Bohra is the surname. Okay, so they are interested into or deep diving or at least studying Shilpa Medical, Polymetric. So you can also understand, go deep dive into this kind of a business and probably explore more. So someone said Parag Parekh. So Parag Parekh. So okay. So NMDC they are already holding, CDSL they are already holding, if I'm not wrong. IEX also they are holding, NMDC they are holding. Acha, don't mix. Acha, just for clarification, your CFO of Adani Total Gas is Parag Parekh, again different guy. So I mean Adani Total Gas, Parag Parekh is not interested. He's the Parag Parekh is the CFO of Total Gas. So every time Total Gas name comes in, it is not Parag Parekh Mutual Fund Asset Company. Correct. So this is what they are interested into. Correct. So, I mean, for me, just one second, I'll just again show you. These are the few of the very, very prominent names, okay, which I am interested. You can own whoever of person you are interested. You can just go on the screener. But do remember, put a double colon in and out. Only then the research will come properly. So, for example, just show you.
Sir, can we put
Whenever I want
person
to
name also?
Yeah, you can put person name also. I'll show you
Means
that.
like Ashish Kacholia,
Yeah, you can
Madhukar
put that
Kela.
also. Yeah, I'll show you
So
that.
how to identify such new names if they are coming in market? Now these are the known names, but there may be some new people also coming into it. So how to search their names?
So I mean that will require some amount of homework for you. But then honestly speaking, if I would probably will be sharing this Excel, I mean, with you guys, where these are the few identified names which I feel are doing extremely great. In
And
the
is Graviton also something? No? Graviton?
Sorry?
Graviton, something I've heard about it.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, chalo, I'll give you your question. I'll answer it in a different way. I think then I would be in a probably correct way of doing it. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll answer your question. But these are the names which I am very much interested. So Spark Capital is an proper institutional company which was taken over by Avendus. Their research is extremely fantastic. So any research company which is doing extremely good, these are the few of the names. I will share it with you. Coming back to your question, one of the way. Acha, tell me if I want to answer your question. Sorry, what's your name?
Gulzar, yeah.
Sorry?
Gulzar.
Gulzar. Okay, Gulzar, tell me, how do you actually come to know if a person is, I mean, any person whom you want to understand that he is doing great or not? How will you come to know?
We go in Stockage and see who are the wild deals that happened.
No.
And try to find. Otherwise, we.
No. The idea is only if he has become successful, only then you will be interested, correct?
Yeah, right.
Because until he comes and until and unless you don't know that this person has actually made a multi-bagger, correct? Till then you won't be able to know the name also, or you are not interested also, correct? Perfect. Now just tell me few of the names of the companies which have become multi-baggers. Only 1 or 2 names.
CDSL is one of them.
Sure. Just hold on here. Say CDSL. Okay. What you can do is just go on the charts. Okay. And this particular period, for example, this particular period or this period, June 23, is it a good time that an investor should invest? I mean, the recent I'm telling you.
Right.
Correct. Now what you do is you are doing a reverse calculation. Now go to June con call, June 23 con call. June के बाद वाला July, August 23, May, June, July, August con call, for example. Okay. Go to the transcripts, just Control F and put questions here.
Okay.
Question. So now you will understand who are the people or who are the investor or larger institution interested in this particular business when the CDSL was about to outperform. Correct?
Okay, right.
So you have BNK Securities. Okay. You have Prakash Kapadia from Anived. Correct? You have IGFC Securities. So har kisi mein rehta hai. It's look at this. Avendus Spark. Correct? So why they are interested in this particular business is, and I mean, then you should also be interested in this business.
Right. Okay.
Correct. So I mean, I already know Avendus Spark. Today you came to know probably Nuvama Wealth. Again, you know, again a broker. So I am not very much interested. I am very much interested into the companies which are not a broker, but their main line of business is research.
Right.
Correct. That is where I get very much interested. Now look at this. For me the name is new. SIMPL. Okay. If you find this guy's name in 2 or 3 common places. So for example, CDSL, BSC, HAL. Okay. 4 or 5, 7, 8 names which you find that outperformed and you are able to find repeated names coming over there. Then that is an interest person for you. Correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I mean, this is one way. All right.
So I have a question.
Where to see mutual fund or buy?
Achha, so I mean that is a simple. Just 1 second. So just go on any company. So say whatever. I mean say Deepak Nitrate, for example. Go to investors and over here you will find DIIs. Correct. So you absolutely have everything over here. So LIC is increasing its stake from 9 to 9.47. Franklin had actually moved. Name was changes, but Franklin has been increasing the stake from 2.53 to 2.57. Correct. So
I think his question was moreover what quants is buying. How can we see that?
That if quant, if you want to see, then what you have to do is you have to go on the quant's mutual fund site, and then you have to go to the statutory disclosures. In there, you will find the entire quant every month disclosure what they are buying. But then what quant is researching, you can find it over here. So you can just put quant mutual fund and you will find it over here. What they are researching, what exactly they are buying, then I mean you have to go on that quant this thing only. Probably
So
on asset management, I guess. Just give me a second. On mutual fund ही डालता है 1 minute.
quants करके आएगा.
Also, Rohit, how do we know if someone has bought a huge quantity today?
Just one second. So this is, you know, just put your quant mutual fund and you'll understand wherever the quant is interested in where they are interested. But if you want to know exactly what quant is buying, then at the end of the month strategy disclosure, you will find what quant is holding. Sure. I'm sorry, I interpreted your question. Tell me things.
Yeah. So I was saying, let's say Ashish Kacholia bought, let's say Patel Engineering, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of bought huge quantity today. Now I want to know at least by tomorrow that
not possible. Not possible.
So when these research houses get on to these con calls, are they looking to invest in the company or are they already invested and they want to know the future prospect of the company? How do we distinguish between whether they're already invested or they're looking to invest in this company?
See, the idea is to understand what they're interested. Okay, if they are already invested, they probably must be interested earlier. Today, as an investor, you and me should be interested in knowing the names where we should do a deep dive research. Okay, it is not just an copy paste formula. It is an idea to reduce your stock research from 5,000 to say 50, 30 kind of or 100 kind of. You cannot research more than, I mean, every sector, 2 or 3 companies beyond that you cannot research. Correct. So if you are lining up to a names of say 50 odd, then the research becomes easier to going and understanding what management is guiding, what they are planning in future, and what biggies are also interested. If they have already invested, then again it is a good sign, because any mutual fund or any house or any large investor, honestly speaking, doesn't put their money only for a quarter or two. They are here or they put their money for 2-3 years. You and I think boss 15-20% मिलेगा क्या, 50% मिलेगा क्या, कल चलेगा क्या, ठीक है? That is not their style of investing. They invest for thought process. They invest for 5 years minimum, and in between, if they got a huge rally or valuation becomes too expensive, only then they become more concerned कि boss अभी भी चलेगा. I mean, is it all right, or should we reduce their exposure or from whatever they had purchased for 5%, it had become 10%. Should they reduce or continue becomes a dilemma. But then once they're invested, you should be in a good mood that, okay, you should deep dive. If they are also interested, you should also be interested into deep diving. So idea is, this is a cheat formula, but not in formula ki boss इन्होंने ले लिया तो आप भी ले लो. I hope I've answered.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So till here we are screeners. Screener पे अपन ने दो चीजें देख ली. I mean the short. I mean we understood what promoter are buying, what kind of control F. Just similarly, na, you can do a control F as we did a control F on the names. For example, Ashish Kacholia, MK Ventures, Quant. Similarly, what you can also do is to understand. You can also control F this particular taglines. That will help you understanding कि boss EBITDA बढ़ने वाला है क्या, ROC बढ़ने वाला है क्या. तो company, which company is introducing a new product, how will you come to know? Which company is gonna are in a mode of repaying the debt. This is our this formula of repayment of debt, or paying of the debt. I was able to identify Glenmark Pharma. Correct. I mean, when they said that, okay, we will be selling GSL and we'll be putting 3,000 odd crores on debt repayment. Before the debt repayment happened, I lashed on the company. Correct. Where the anti-dumping duty is getting applicable, just control F. Simple. Where is the premiumization happening? On the capex side, we understood in one of our earlier session that if the capex is of debottlenecking, then probably there is a short-term momentum that you will get. Correct. And that is debottlenecking. Just control F debottlenecking. That's it. So simple. So just to show you an example. Debottle. So these are the name of the companies we will be debottling. So these are the companies that debottleneck. I mean, these are the companies that you should be looking for a short-term momentum play, or the companies which are saying debt payment. So Core Digital, I don't know, I'm not researched this, preferential issue for debt repayment. So they are doing a preferential to debt repay. Correct. So
Rohit, one more question. So
yeah.
while you are searching debt repayment, which month at least we should see for August or May is also fine, because whatever they have confirmed in May, by now movement should have done. So any timeline we should refer while searching. So it should be transcript of July.
So sorry, but then your voice is little slower. I mean, can you just be a little loud so that I understand the question clearly?
Means ki which month we should refer, like when you search debt payments, so it is transcript of July, May, June, everything. So if May said,
I mean, I think the recent few. So in this debt repayment only came one. So paying off debt, you have to put. I mean that is why if you see now in that Excel what I have written is paying off debt, debt repayment, debt free. These are the codes that companies that do on their con calls. So they will be speaking that we will be debt free in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So recent con calls you have to prefer. Okay, old, what you do is, those stocks must have already given you a run up.
Yeah.
Correct. So recent ones you have to do. That's it. The most recent one is more preferred one. So maybe a maximum 1 quarter back, not beyond that.
And second question is, you searched for the first one, no? Then one stock, Sequent Scientific, came 3 times. So if you can just highlight what you think.
No, I didn't got you again. Sequent Scientific.
So once you searched for a big investor name,
yeah.
So the stock Sequent Scientific came multiple times. So I wanted you to just have a look what is going on. That results was good this quarter.
I don't think. क्योंकि promoter में तो नहीं आया, पर anyways.
वेंडर्स या क्वेस्ट का नाम आया था इसमें।
Yeah, Questo, I know. So net debt, very well, better margin. They have not deep dive in the business. I mean, on the face of it, I won't be able to give you too much. Are they into? I mean, it will take a lot of time, yeah. I'm so sorry, but it will take a lot of time because under pharma na, I mean, to be very honest, it takes a little more time for me at least because I'm not a pharma guy. तो मेरे को ना थोड़ा सा फॉर्मुलेशन एपीआई उनका क्या है वो देखना पड़ेगा एक बार.
ठीक, no problem.
Yeah.
जून का
But otherwise, on the,
result अच्छा आया था।
I mean, currently though, I
हाँ।
mean, the valuation is pretty cheap because they have fallen down significantly. But still at 167 का P, my God, मतलब क्या P पे था ये पहले? 200 P. Yeah, 167 में I don't invest in this company. Sorry. मतलब I need at least a PEG of 2. चलो मैं मन मार के ना 3 कर लेता हूँ अगर बिजनेस समझ में आ गया तो. But tell me, will they grow for like 50-60% per annum? Looks difficult,
no.
नहीं?
नहीं अभी
Difficult.
नहीं, actually what has happened is
Shit.
even recently last Friday, right, it has seen a breakout failure. मतलब everyone was expecting a breakout in Sequent Scientific, but for some reason, I think आपने जो भी बोला है रोज जी कि बहुत high PA, hopefully maybe all of those reasons put together, but it wasn't able to cross.
No, I think for me na, I mean when the minute I see 100 P na, ठीक है, the another thing that I mean first my mind will be blocked. As I 100 का P, ठीक है, मैं जाके नीचे देखना चाहूंगा कि sales growth वगैरह क्या चालू है. Look at the 3-year 5-year scale growth, flat. चलो ठीक है. Is there any one off जिसकी वजह से P चला गया हो? There is no one off also.
तो ये वन ऑफ था, इसका टर्की का बिजनेस क्लोज हो गया था इसलिए उसको हिट लिया था प्रॉफिट में।
But there is no one off also. I'm saying you there is no one off also. मतलब this company has been growing. ठीक है. I mean look at this. 2019, 2024. What is the growth? Not even 10% का growth है and PE of 106. See, I tell you what they are doing. They were probably what I understand small things into at least into the pharma side is they are probably sitting on some kind of very large plant where the CWIP has already been done. Correct, and they are yet to commercialize. The minute it happens, they are waiting for some approval. This is what my sense is. I have not deep dive. If they are able to do that, if that happens only, I mean, and that also the prices have already discounted that. That is why it is sitting at 100 and plus P. Definitely, this is the only thing. If you go and understand, थोड़ा इसका पढ़ेंगे ना, तो आपको ये चीज वहां निकल के आएगी, आप देख लेना. Sure. So I mean, stock specific नहीं चलते यार, otherwise ना session रह जाएगा अपना. चलो, perfect. So I think I'm giving you a rough idea of how to do a research. Okay, let me check what else is left. Okay, what a few more things are left. I'll just tell you that quickly. We're already running out of time. On Value Picker is again one of the very good ways where you can do a cheat kind of a thing. Where this is again a good thread. Just go on Value Picker, put 101, or I'll share you this. Just copy this link, put there. This guy gives you a Technofunda research view, and on again Value Picker. Chalo, I'll do it for you. It's minute or le lete hain. All right. So again, I mean, this is one bull therapy 101 Technofunda kind of a thing. Correct. Technical analysis with fundamentals where they give you a brief of what is happening in a particular business. So you can go through this thread. Correct. So Balaji Amines. So this is a chart, and then they give you what is happening around that particular sector. So the idea is read this, don't blindly follow, just understand till now what we have done on the previous sessions is, where the ROC could improve, where the margins are improving, where the sales growth may be triggering, or there is any, change which has happened across the company. Then, I mean, these are very good ideas. Shriram Piston, I mean, one side invested in this. So what is happening around Shriram Piston, you get it over here in a very small, brief manner. Correct. Or if you want to search any particular company, so say Tech Mahindra. I mean, I don't know how many of you must have known that Tech Mahindra is a new CEO which has come into Tech Mahindra. Correct. So what you can simply go is, just go through this Tech Mahindra ka entire thread is ke upar. The entire thread is on Tech Mahindra. So whatever across is happening in and around about Tech Mahindra is just Google it. Instead of Googling it, just go to Value Picker. It is your new Google for stocks. As simple as that. So globally, new CEO which has come. correct? So again, this is a very unique kind of कि आप stock का नाम डालो, just put it over here and you will find some interesting materials which are happening. So people spend hours and hours studying that. They put in over here for free, and it is available for you to use without putting any extra effort or any extra money also. So again, this value picker is and that 101 thread is what I follow. There are a number of other people whom you can follow over a period of time when you get interested. So on Twitter, these two things which I put on Twitter over here. They are all technical guys, but then they know what they are doing. So Triple V Stock Analyst is a good guy. Devinder is again a fantastic guy. On technical side, they know what they are doing. On YouTube, you can follow Logical Investor, SOIC. This gentleman Ishmoid is extremely heartening. Live is research. Value Educator, again a beautiful guy. These are the people who know what they are. What kind of research they are doing, and they do a very deep diving on the stock, on the value chain of the companies. So this is again another shortcut ways of finding the new ideas. So just to summarize, we seen I will share you these 4 screeners with you, which I follow very religiously. These are the few investors whom I follow. Not investors, basically research houses which I feel are very good. And over the period of time, let me be very honest, some of the multi-baggers I have just owned to them. I would have never come across the name also, but because these guys were in that particular company, I said कि यार पढ़ता हूँ मैं भी. So this is how you come across this. And these are the few cheat names again. Control F, new product, which company is doing a new product, which company is doing premiumization. Again, a very beautiful word, premiumization. This is what premiumization, again, combination of upper wala investors, niche ka premiumization. This is how I got Vector Foods. They have been only talking about premiumization since 1 year, kind of, and they have been doing extremely beautifully. So just, look at this. These are the companies which are talking about premiumization, correct, today. And let me tell you, premiumization was there in Vector Food. Probably I invested a year back, if I'm not wrong. For every con call, they definitely have this premiumization word over there. Just 1 second. Yeah. The company continues to focus on increasing distribution and premiumization of their product. We are doing volume basis because we are also looking for premiumization. So, you get these companies who are talking about premiumization. Premiumization increases your operating profit margin, which in future will increase your ROC. And these are the companies who will get, tomorrow's price, appreciation. A fantastic kind of a growth was given by Vector Food. I am not getting updated. Yeah. Cool. I think you can just now independently do your own research. I will share this Excel with you. I can take 1 or 2 questions before we end. Any 1 or 2 questions. Just tell your name and ask a question. 1 or 2 questions. Come on. You have to unmute yourself before you ask the question.
Sir, regarding some bulk deals, something that can help us to identify some.
No, they don't. They are just hand changing.
And if we want to know any investor who has done less than 1%, because that does not come anywhere.
Isn't this enough कि आप already इतने नाम आपको मिल जाएंगे ना जहाँ आपको research करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
It should be good enough. I am happy with this more than sufficient. I'm honestly speaking. You cannot have more than 20-25 companies into your portfolio.
Right.
This should be enough, I guess.
So myself, Uday. So I think
little louder, please.
Yeah. So what would be the maximum number of stocks in an ideal portfolio?
Ideal number of stocks in a portfolio?
Yes. Maximum number.
If you come across some great names add करते जाओ, कोई problem नहीं है. Today I can tell you I am holding 20, 26, 27, I guess.
See, approximately for 1 crore portfolio, approximately, say.
For 100 crore portfolio, 30 is the good number.
So I am a small investor.
I am telling you, if 30 is a good number, then 30 is good for 1 crore also.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Perfect.
When to exit stock?
Sorry?
When to exit from
Technique fundamental exits is a very, very slow and a dull way of exiting. So I exit only on technicals. And I mean, fundamental also I exit if but then honestly speaking, उसके पहले मेरा technical break आ जाता है. तो I exit.
संघवी मूवर्स है उसमें देखो
Exit कर लो.
एकदम ब्रेकडाउन हो गए.
Exit कर लो.
वो क्या हो गया मालूम ही नहीं. देखो कितना.
So I tell you what. I'll tell you what. I've been tracking the business. It's a Pune-based company. I know them. Last 2 quarters or last one quarter, they have already given you a hint on the fundamental side that their business probably would not be doing the same margins. If you read the con calls, you'll understand they have already said in their con call that the margins will not be expanding. And now currently what has happened fundamentally is there are two large their vendors, or what do you call them? The consumers of them are Suzlon and Inox Wind, if I'm not wrong, correct? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. 35% business comes from Suzlon, 25-26% comes from Inox Wind. One of their Inox Wind has gone into backward integration, which says that tomorrow they might not require the cranes of your Sanghvi movers. So this could be a very big hit for them. This is one. Secondly, their margins have dropped down significantly. And that is why after the result, they have seen a sharp drop, correct?
Johnson Controls?
Yes, sir.
I think typically a small bounce from here. Stock has now corrected by from 1200 to 780, 800 odd पे correct होके थोड़ा सा अभी वापस recover कर रहा है. Small tranches as the stock move up, you should think to exit. This is what I can tell you. But no, honestly speaking, I'm not an research analyst. You have to take your own call. So this is what I would be doing if I would have invested. This is the honest opinion that I'm giving you. Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
I think, yeah.
One last question, Rohit. What?
Yeah, come on. Hello. Yeah, tell me. नहीं यार आवाज ही नहीं गया. चलो, I think we are good for the day. I will open question and answers for
Question is there from my side.
Sorry?
What is the view of your view on JNK India?
Which India?
JNK India.
नहीं, I am not tracking यार. चलो.
Sir, a question है, not regarding any share. It is regarding, sir, in your daily routine, how do you track? Means you first check on the screener, then you jump, you identify a few stocks from there, and then you go to technical. Or how is the tracking routine of?
From 2003-04, I'm a core technical analyst since then. I mean, in 2000 में तो मुझे fundamental आता भी नहीं था. Like, I'm a chemical engineer, so I mean, technical is what was always simpler for me. So few years I only did 4, 5, 6 years I only did technicals. So today also, I mean, honestly speaking, my hands-on on technicals are far better. This is what I feel on fundamentals. So my first way of going into a stock and researching is first technicals. Stock में अगर momentum है, only then I'm interested. A dead stock, I'm not at all interested. So learning a company and doing a deep dive analysis, company क्या करती है, promoter क्या करते हैं, क्या चल रहा है, business क्या है, आगे का ROC आएगा नहीं आएगा पता नहीं. So first I am interested into understanding technicals. Once for me, I have made my own screeners on technicals. So once the name starts appearing over there, then probably I'll go on fundamentals. And then probably again the same things that I observe is कि कल future में business कैसे बड़ा होने वाला है.
So Prakash Pipes is also on breakout. Have you seen the Prakash Pipes?
Sorry. Basically, you start with technicals and then move to fundamentals to check.
Yeah, correct. Sure, I think I'll open for Q&A on the group. Then you can ask me a question, sir. Perfect. Done. Then.
Thank you. It was really
रोहित
wonderful
भाई
session.
या रोहित भाई
बोल दो सर, बोल दो.
रोहित भाई ये दूसरा वाला जो टेक्नो फंड एनालिसिस का आपने एक जो सेशन किया था ना, दूसरा कभी कर रहे हैं? दिस इज भरत ओवर हियर.
यार अभी तो किया, अभी आई डोंट थिंक इन नियर फ्यूचर देयर इज एनी प्लान.
ओके, बिकॉज़ अब मैंने पिंग किया था, आपने बोला कि 1-1.5 महीने में आप करने वाले थे, तो
नहीं
जस्ट
नहीं
वेटिंग फॉर इट.
ना आई डोंट थिंक फॉर नियर फ्यूचर, तो आई डोंट थिंक आई वुड.
खाली रिकॉर्डिंग प्ले करवा दीजिए एक दिन मीटिंग रिक्वेस्ट भेज के, हम वही देख लेंगे.
हाँ वो भी देख रहे, वो भी चल जाएगा हमको सर. आप मत बोलिएगा, खाली रिकॉर्डिंग डाल दीजिए, हम
आप मत
सुनते
बोलिए
रहेंगे.
सर, रिकॉर्डिंग प्ले कर दीजिए एक मीटिंग शेड्यूल करके, चल जाएगा.
चलो वैसा कुछ करते हैं. Actually,
थोड़ा
it
मिस हो
doesn't
गया था सर.
work like that. I mean, it's not. I mean, at least you could have registered over there. I would have given you the recordings, yeah. But then after, I mean, after the session has been completed, it's been like a month, 15-20 days now. So I mean, बस छूट गई तो छूट गई, कोई बात नहीं. चलो अब कोई ना कोई
नहीं
और
नहीं सर,
मिल जाएगा.
मैंने
सर,
आपको पिंग
सर हम
आपने
भाग के
पिंग किया था,
पकड़
नहीं नहीं सर, मैंने फॉलो अप किया था. आपने बोला कि अभी मैं तुरंत करूंगा, थोड़े दिन का, तो आपको बताता हूँ, लेकिन फिर हुआ ही नहीं बाद में, तो इसलिए मैंने बोला ये वाले सेशन में पूछते थे आपसे करके.
No, I think there have been a lot of requests for doing a core technical and core fundamental. Probably next month, I mean, I would be planning for doing a core fundamental and core technicals, kind of. तो देखते हैं उसके बाद करेंगे फिर इसको, है ना. तो एक core fundamental और core technical होने वाला है, ठीक है. That would be honestly speaking not free, it would be a paid one. But then, I mean, I would be giving, I mean, you know how, I mean, what I give on the sessions. So that would be again a heart out over there. So it would be absolutely core on, you know, all sectors being covered, the value chain of the sectors, and how do you actually do a deep dive research. I mean, honestly speaking, it will cover from A to Z everything on fundamentals. So probably that would be on technicals also. So deep technicals is what I love. I mean, if you tell me आपको fundamentals नहीं पता कंपनी का तो भी आप पैसा कमाओगे क्या, तो my answer would be completely yes बना पाऊंगा. पर आप मुझे बोलोगे कि सर आपको फंडामेंटल बताता हूँ लेकिन आपको टेक्निकल नहीं बताऊंगा, तो आपका आंसर भी कि नहीं मैं शायद नहीं पैसा बना पाऊंगा. So for me, both importance is on both. पर for me, like you know, technicals is very very important, क्योंकि otherwise मैं executive नहीं कर पाऊंगा. तो कंपनी का लफड़ा हो गया, उसको मुझे अगर एक क्वार्टर के बाद मालूम पड़ेगा कौन कौन में, तब तो स्टॉक ही 40-50% टूट गया होगा. तो I mean the exits are very important for me on technicals. Perfect. I think yeah, good. So कुछ है doubts अगर, तो we can speak on group. I'll open the group for today. Sure. Thanks.
Thanks Rohit bhai. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.